Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I am making one of my favorite soups. It is creamy chicken pasta soup. It's really easy to make. It has vegetables in it. It's really probably not the healthiest because it has heavy cream in it and cream cheese and cheddar cheese, but it is really delicious. It's really simple to make. I've made it probably 8 or 9 times already over the past year or two. I will link the recipe below because, again, I kind of do what I want and, you know, I add things that might not be listed. Sorry guys, I'm trying to find my spoon that I had already washed. I'm going to do it in my Ninja cooker. It has a slow cooker setting and a stovetop setting. I'm going to put it on medium just to kind of, I don't know, crisp up, soften up, I should say, some of the vegetables. 2 tablespoons of oil is what it calls for. I don't really measure. I just add some to the bottom. It doesn't really stick in this pan anyway. I hope everybody can see. I really have to find a really good setup. My kitchen is not that big. The struggles. How's everybody doing? My face, I'll talk to everybody in a bit. I just want to try to get everything in the pot. It calls for a pound of chopped or shredded chicken. I do not have probably a pound here, but it's left over and I want to get it used up. 4 cups of low sodium chicken broth or vegetable broth. I use chicken broth and I use about 8 cups. I think these are 4-cup containers, but I need to get this used up too. It was in the fridge. I made this myself from a leftover rotisserie chicken and some vegetables that I had put in it and some seasonings. But this is like last week's broth and I really want to get it used up because I didn't get it put in the freezer. Calls for onions, carrots, celery, garlic, shredded cheese, cream cheese, heavy cream, salt and pepper to taste, ditalini pasta. And if you don't know what ditalini pasta is, I know it sounds really weird, but this is my preferred pasta for soups and things. It's really small. It's hollow inside, really tiny and little. I don't know if you can see too well. I'm about out. I don't know if I have enough, so I might have to add some small shell pasta into it as well. I need to get some spinach and Parmesan cheese. And like I said, I'll link the recipe below, but if any of you have watched any of my recipes before, I don't really follow them to a T. I kind of use them as a guideline. I add whatever I want, leave out what I don't want. Did it call for fresh garlic? Yeah, 2 cloves of garlic, but I have a good bit of garlic here. I used just some of it for my other recipe, and I'm just going to use the rest of what I had since it's already chopped, and I smell like garlic. I love the smell of fresh garlic, but it just, no matter how many times you wash your hands, you can't get rid of it. Okay, sorry guys, I was there, but my phone rang, and I didn't put my phone on Do Not Disturb. This celery was frozen. It was starting to go bad at one point, so I kind of just diced it up and put it in the freezer. Now it's a little watery in there. Oh well. I have celery. I have carrots in here that I diced up. They're looking a little bit weird because I also froze them. They're fine, whatever. If you have fresh, use fresh. They do take a little bit longer to cook up probably because they'll be a lot harder. But since these were frozen, they're a little bit like soft and mushy now. And you can use canned if you want. You use whatever you want. You know, it's your kitchen. Cook it the way you want. So I have the celery, carrots, and spinach that I had already chopped up. And I will be back to add a little bit of this stuff once this starts to crisp up a little bit. Okay, the celery is in there. I'm going to start adding in. I probably wouldn't add the spinach until the end, but I put it on top of my carrots like an idiot, so I'm just gonna shove it in there too. I'd probably put that in towards the end though. Oh well, you live and you learn. going to put the onion in, and it also has bell pepper in here. I'm putting a lot of onion and pepper because I already cut this up and it needs to be in the end. I don't know, the more the merrier, who cares, right? It's your kitchen, add what you want. Guys, I thought I was filming, but I wasn't. I went ahead and I added my 2 containers of broth and the rest of my vegetables and the garlic as well. Can't really see it. I know my camera angle sucks. I really need to figure something out. I say that every time, and I always think that I have it figured out, and it never is. I'm gonna wait. I put this on slow cooker for 4 hours. I don't know if I'll let it cook for 4 hours. It really just needs to be softened. The vegetables need to be softened, and everything needs to be heated up. But I'm going to add in the other stuff later. The chicken, which is already pre-cooked. If it's not pre-cooked, you could probably add it in there now because you're definitely going to want that to be finished. But I've said before, I don't like boiled chicken anyway. So I would always pre-cook my chicken in the oven or on the stove or something to get it fully cooked before I add it. And I usually just add it in at the end. I'll add the pasta later and the cheeses later. It calls for a cup of cream cheese. I have 5 ounces left in this container approximately anyway. I'm just going to use it. I don't know if it's enough or not too much. I don't really know. But it's going to be fine. That's what I'm going to use. It's what I have. I don't want to open another one for that. And I'll add the heavy cream later. I know I've said before heavy cream is a lot of calories, and it is. It's a tablespoon for 50 calories. It's really, it's good if you're doing low carb or whatever, but I always say that, but I always buy heavy cream because it just adds so much flavor to dishes and soups and stuff. So I usually do have some on hand, whether in the fridge or the freezer, but it calls for half a cup of that. You know, use fat-free heavy cream if you want. Use half and half. You could probably use milk, maybe add a little bit of flour with it to help thicken it. This is a little bit thicker, but it's not going to make your soup like really super thick anyway. Not with half a cup. And I did add my broth as well. You didn't see me do that. If you don't like really brothy soups, then you're definitely not going to want to add 8 cups of broth. But personally, I think that one of the best features of this soup is the broth, especially if you have like good quality flavorful broth. So I always add extra. But you could use water and bouillon cubes or the little chicken flavored base. It's like a paste if you want. You can use vegetable broth. You can cut it with water. You can do whatever you want. It's your kitchen, your food. Eat it the way you want. But I'm going to let this cook down for a little bit, just soften up good, and I will be back with all of the other stuff later. Okay, it's been a couple hours. I am back. This soup really, I mean, it's convenient if you wanted to make it in a crock pot, like if you're not going to be home all day, but I'm home, so really it just needs to get the vegetables softened so they're not chewy, and it really just needs to be heated through. So honestly, it really doesn't need to be made in a crock pot. I usually do make it on the stove, but I don't know why I decided to do it like this today. Probably because I wasn't ready to eat it anyway. So I'm gonna add my 5 ounces or so of cream cheese. It's been out for a little bit, but if you really want to soften it really well, you might want to pop it in the microwave and keep checking on it regularly. But it's not a big deal. I never find that cream cheese ever fully, I don't know what the word I want to use. It's always kind of chunky. I am going to add the heavy cream in. I have a little tiny bit over half a cup here. You can add more heavy cream if you want. If you added more broth or liquid than it suggested, you can certainly add more heavy cream to kind of help thicken it a little bit more. But I'm just going to stick to half a cup. I've made it with half a cup before. I've actually made it with a cup before because I read it wrong. And it was really good that way too, but that just adds a lot of calories. I think I'm going to add the Parmesan cheese and the cheddar cheese at the very end. Typically, the cheddar cheese, I don't even add it until I'm ready to eat each individual serving, because I eat this like all week for lunch. I keep it in the fridge. And if I get sick of it or I don't want to eat it anymore, then I freeze it. But you can do whatever you want. It calls for 2 cups of pasta. I don't think I usually add 2 full cups. And I only have just slightly under half a cup of ditalini pasta anyway. So I'm gonna add some small shelled pasta, which they're just tiny little. You can use any pasta you want. It's not a big deal. Don't get worked up over the pasta. I'm gonna add a cup, maybe a cup and a fourth of pasta. It may not look like very much now, but it really will bulk up once you get it in there and it starts to cook. So, you know, and it will also soak up a lot of the broth. So again, if you like it really brothy, don't add as much pasta, or add more broth and add 2 cups of pasta, because it will thicken it. I didn't add any salt or pepper to this. I haven't tasted it for seasoning or anything like that yet. I really kind of do need to do that. Need some salt and pepper. Add in the chicken. And for me, the chicken doesn't really need to go in until the last minute because it is already cooked fully. I think this chicken was from a rotisserie chicken that I had left. I'm not sure, because I actually had actual chicken breasts in the freezer that I made the other day, so I don't know. It's left from something. I just chopped it up. I feel like everything is in there now except for the cheddar cheese and the Parmesan. I'm going to add the Parmesan because it's almost done, honestly. I think it calls for half a cup of Parmesan. I have to check the recipe. I moved it. I'm just using what I have left in my container here. Like, seriously, I'm not going to put that little bit back in the fridge. To add is the cheddar cheese, and to be honest with you, sometimes I don't even add the cheddar cheese. Here is the finished product. Okay, it's done, and I'm gonna taste it because, like I always say, had a text, that you can't fake disgusting. And honestly, I've made this soup 8 or 9 times now, so I know that I like it, but that cream cheese, it just never, it clumps, but that's all right. It still tastes good. It's really hot, so I am going to let it cool for a second. How has everybody been? Did you enjoy your winter? Technically, it's not spring yet, but certainly starting to feel like it here in Ohio. I know February was a really crappy month. I don't think I really even left my house that much in February. We had snow and we had ice, and I'm in Ohio, and I know Texas didn't do so good. I don't think you guys got a lot of snow in terms of what Ohio or the East Coast snow is, but I think any snow for Texas is pretty devastating, and I know a lot of you didn't have power, and it was pretty rough. So I feel bad for everybody. I think I had like one day in February where I didn't have any power for almost 24 hours, but that was nothing compared to like an entire week or so. So I'm thankful for that. Okay. This is one of my favorite soups. The broth is so good. You have to, if you like it brothy, you need to add extra broth, whatever you want. I don't know if you can see it. You really can't. Like I said, I have a mix of shells in here because that's all the little pastas that I had, but you can use any pasta you want. You could probably use egg noodles if you wanted. I don't think I've made this particular recipe with egg noodles, but you can do that if you want. It's your recipe, so do whatever the heck you want with it. Please let me know if you've tried it, if you did anything differently, if you actually followed the recipe exactly, or if you kind of finagled it a little bit like I did. That's how I cook. Recipe's a guideline. I don't know, I throw in there whatever I want, whatever I have. Typically I add bay leaf to it too, and I have tons of bay leaves, but I forgot. They're in the other room and I didn't get them out and put them in, but not a big deal. It still tastes the same. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I hope you come back for more recipes. Like I said before, I don't know when I'm gonna make them. I cook every single day, but unfortunately I don't film it every day. A lot of the times I eat boring, and I don't really think anybody would care. Like, I just eat a salad and a piece of chicken for lunch, and I don't think anybody's too interested in that. But please like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below if you made it and if you liked it, and please come back for more recipes. Thank you.